We start this evening with continuing coverage of glyphosate and the potential dangers of weed killer Roundup. Now we're learning more about some of the medical implications. RT's Sara Montes has the details.
In a California verdict earlier this month, Monsanto was ordered to pay $289 million to Dwayne Johnson, who developed non-Hodgkin lymphoma after using the weed killer. According to a National University at Rosario study in Argentina, Roundup is linked to several types of cancers, including breast, prostate, and lung cancers. And in a previous study, researchers found that when parents were exposed to Roundup during the 2 years prior to the child's birth, the risk of the child being born with brain cancer is significantly higher. There is now global momentum to ban glyphosate. In 2010, doctors from across Latin America formed an organization, Doctors of Fumigated Towns, to speak out against the weed killer. In a documentary released this year, the filmmaker highlights the social and environmental concerns in these agricultural toxins. And at a national conference held in Argentina, Dr. Medardo Avila Vasquez, a pediatrician specializing in environmental health, explained his concerns. We've gone from a pretty healthy population to one with a high rate of cancer, birth defects, and illnesses seldom seen before. What we have complained about for years was confirmed, and especially what doctors say about the sprayed towns in areas affected by industrial agriculture. Cancer cases are multiplying as never before in areas with massive use of pesticides. And in the last few years, more than 400 cities and towns in Argentina have banned glyphosate since. In a recent study, scientists found that regions in Argentina where the herbicide is still commonly used have seen miscarriages and birth defects that are twice the national average. Outside Latin America, a French farmer whose prostate cancer may have been caused by Roundup has now taken legal action against Monsanto. And helping his case, the government of France has vowed to ban glyphosate and welcome the recent California verdict. In the U.S. as well, pending legal cases against Monsanto have surged, with 8,000 lawsuits now up in the air. Meanwhile, the EWG, who released the report on glyphosate in cereals, is encouraging parents to come forward. As a reminder, these cereals may be found in your kitchen cabinet and include several children's breakfast foods such as Cheerios and Lucky Charms. In a recent statement, they said, "What can parents do? Demand that the food companies provide products that don't have toxic pesticides in them. And when possible, we encourage families to purchase organic products as a safer and healthier choice." And it looks like some daycare centers in Chicago are already being proactive. 9 Chicago area locations stopped serving Cheerios in response to the report. Perhaps this is just the start of the market pulling back on products containing the cancer-causing herbicide. In Washington, Sara Montes, RT.
And for more, we're joined by Mike Papantonio, host of America's Lawyer, here on RT. Mike, thanks so much for joining us today. And so Dwayne Johnson, the man who won the lawsuit against Monsanto, was told that Roundup was, quote, safe enough to drink, yet now we're hearing the chemicals from the product will kill at least 20,000 people from types of cancer in the U.S. annually. So how is this product still circulating the market, Mike?
Well, it's because of fraud. I mean, basically, the politics behind it is appalling. When you take a look at the politics, oddly enough, the Democratic regime has done most to keep Monsanto out there with their product. They've protected them at every turn of the road. Department of Justice should have been looking at this a long time ago. But, you know, politics is tough to overcome when you have a multi-billion-dollar corporation that gives so much money to politics. That's the quick answer to that. That's why we're just now learning a lot of this. I'm handling 16 of these cases that'll be tried next summer. All of them are non-Hodgkin's lymphoma cases. But as the earlier report talked about, the injuries are far in excess of just non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. And this was just a phonied up. This is phonied up science. That's why it's still on the market.
And the issue now is that it's in everything from, you know, cherries to cereal. Roundup has been around since 1974 and is now causing cancer and birth defects, and as you mentioned, many other things. We now know Dwayne Johnson is dying as a result of the chemicals found in Roundup because, you know, he was directly spraying them at the schools that he worked at. But what about everyday people like us? How would we know that a potential future condition is a result of Monsanto's product?
Well, first of all, throw your Roundup away. Don't use it. This is a product that it's inhaled. It moves through your body systemically from the skin. They've known about this for a long time. They've understood that it's even bioaccumulative. What it has the ability to do is build up in your body. As a matter of fact, you could go anywhere in the world right now, ask somebody to give you a urine test, and they're probably going to find glyphosate in there. Company has known about that a long, long time. The thing on the food is an interesting issue. If I were advising the people who actually make these cereals, they really had better protect themselves, first of all, by not buying products that are contaminated with glyphosate, but they already have a problem. The best way to protect themselves is to initiate lawsuits against Monsanto for lying to them. That's really the issue. Monsanto and Bayer now have lied to everybody about what they had in their own file cabinets. I have seen what they have in their file cabinets. I took depositions of people about what they have in their file cabinets. And they have known for decades that this has ability to not just cause cancer, but to cause birth defects. And when I questioned them in depositions, when I questioned them about what they knew, the position was, well, we were simply told by the people at the top that this posed no risk at all. As a matter of fact, we were told it was safe enough to drink. While they were telling that to the American people, while they were telling that to people who were using glyphosate in things like food products, they knew that their head toxicologist, the very person at the top of the food chain that knew everything about the dangers of glyphosate, they knew that toxicologist had warned them to say under no circumstances should you tell people that this product will not cause cancer, because we haven't done the studies to prove that. So this is just the beginning. This is a horror show for Monsanto. This is an absolute horror show. And now Bayer has acquired Monsanto, and you have to ask yourself, who are the lawyers that advise them that that's a good move? Because those lawyers probably need to call their E&O carriers. Bayer had every reason to know when they bought Monsanto that this was a phonied up lie. And now the trick is getting it off the market.
And do you see similarities with how the tobacco industry denied how harmful their product was, and now Monsanto is, as you mentioned, skewing scientific research to make their product sound safer than it really is?
Well, the tobacco industry, as you know, we handled that case too. And so what we found there is that they were able to, the tobacco industry did the same thing Monsanto did. They went out and hired what we call biostitutes in this business. A biostitute is somebody working at a university. They'll write any literature that needs to be written for the right price of money. So there's a lot of similarities,
Interesting. Mike Papantonio, we really appreciate your insight as always. Thank you so much.
Hey YouTube, thanks for checking out our channel. We hope you enjoyed the video. We have tons of content for you just like this. For more of RT America's one-of-a-kind news and analysis, be sure to subscribe and never stop questioning more.